called In the Bleak Midwinter.
Good evening. There we go. Good evening, everybody. My name is Justin, and welcome to the Spiritual Living Center of Tacoma. And for those of you who may be here for the first time or haven't been here in a while, if you are here, you can raise your hand or not raise your hand, but there is a little blue card in front of you. And during the offering, if you would just complete the card and put that into the offering, you are our greatest gift during this evening. So we just want you to know we want to be able to welcome you. We want to be able to follow up with you and see how the service went for you. Also, I just want to let you know that tomorrow's going to be okay. It's going to be excellent. I called some family in Thailand, and it's 9:30 in the morning there, and everything's been turning out. So the new year begins off quite well. As before I left home, I started watching my cats, right? And they're not excited about the new year. They're just doing their thing. They're, kind of going every day. But I find me, as a human being, I just can't wait for 2022 to end and 2023 to begin. I don't know why, but we'll discover that today. Our musician tonight is Terry O'Hara, and our audiovisual team is Erik, Perrohe, and Ronald Evans. And we do love applauses in this place, so please feel free to applaud. Our practitioner this evening is Laura Lee Bentle. Suzanne Fraser-Brown is holding high watch. Actually, it's Mona Williams holding high watch in the back there. I apologize. And tonight's message will be given by our Associate Minister, Reverend Drew Ebersole, right here. All right, the Center for Spiritual Living is a peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a shared set of values, principles, and practices. At the core of our belief is the existence of a single source, which we call God or Spirit. This Spirit inspires, guides, supports, and nurtures our individual awakening and our day-to-day reality. This loving consciousness desires only the highest and greatest good for creation. We embody an understanding of our oneness with Source. We are committed to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. Thank you.
That's me. Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. You probably entered our beautiful sanctuary and you smelt something. I am an American Indian from the Eastern Band of the Cherokee Nation, and I wanted to bless and smudge our building from the inside to rid of all the things that may not need to be here any longer. And to honor who I am, we brought in the good. And I'm just going to read you a little bit about what smudging is for me and my culture, and for many American Indians across the nation, as well as our First Nations. Not all tribes do smudge, but I would say the majority of them do. So smudging or burning of sage, which I had sage, I had sacred tobacco, I had some lavender, and I had some sweetgrass. I was cleansing. And I had a little bit of pine, as well as cedar. So, sage, tobacco, and cedar is an ancient spiritual practice. And as I mentioned, there are other plants that may be used. Smudging is a common American Indian cultural or tribal practice. However, it is not practiced by all tribes, as I had mentioned. The ritual of burning sage, also known as smudging, and I smudged all over. I actually was called to bring my own eagle feather to do it. So it's a real honor to have done that today with the help of my dear friend Reverend Drew, and Leslie is who was here today too. So it's an essential part of our culture for cleansing, for ceremonial pieces. And burning sage is also the cleanse, all the negativity, and it helps promote healing and wisdom, and longevity. And after I smudged, I walked back into the building, and it felt different. And so ceremonial tobacco is used for smudging, whereas, you burn the leaves, and I actually have put some on the outside, the four corners of our building as well. Tobacco keeps the energy from leaking back in, you might say. And so it's a power of purification. It's a power of purifying the places, objects, and all of you who entered into this beautiful sanctuary today, and all who come in after you. This place is cleansed to be the beautiful sanctuary, the beautiful, peaceful, joyful place that has always been there. And so thank you. Some of you may not have enjoyed the smell, but I was called to do that. So thank you so much for allowing me to do that. And now I believe I'm opening up with a meditation. I don't have my script up here. So if you kindly close your eyes, if you care to, or you can take your gaze and put it out 3 to 4 feet. And I'm going to do a traditional mindful meditation where I'm going to concentrate on your breath. And we're going to do this for a few minutes. So if you'd like to get settled into your seat with your feet firmly planted on Mother Earth and your hands comfortable in your lap, so to alleviate any fidgeting you may have. And just remember, your mind is going to wander. But when it does, thank it and come back to the moment and count your breaths. Come back to your breath always. So let's take a deep breath together, knowing that this breath is a breath of our divineness. And we're just going to sit here for a minute or two, just with your breath. Feel it on your nostrils as it comes in and out. So I'm going to ask you to come back and just know that this practice, this mindful practice that I have practiced for 30 years or more, actually has gotten me through this 2022 with contentment, with joy, a lot of tears, but my faith was strong. So thank you for indulging me in this beautiful practice of mindfulness. Now I open with a prayer. You want me to read this? I get to do a few things up here. I'd sing Crazy by Patsy Cline, but I don't think it's appropriate. Just saying. You gotta have a sense of humor. That was another thing I found, sense of humor you just have to have no matter where you're at. And here I am, practitioner up here with Drew. So I'm just gonna open this with a beautiful opening prayer, knowing that the divine presence is right here, right now. Knowing that because it is in with me, that I know it is in with each and every one of you. And I know the words tonight that Reverend Drew is going to be sharing with you tonight is divinely inspired. As mentioned, he's a conduit of the Spirit. Our musician is just bountifully blessed with his practice of being a pianist. So thank you for being here. Thank you all, knowing that we are uplifted. We are here at this very moment. So I'm grateful, I release, and let us say, and so it is. Okay, now I have a reading. When you can reframe your thinking, Drew just wrote this. You learn to, so I'm going to read that again. When you can reframe your thinking, you can master your mind and align with this one mind consciously. Drew Ebersole. I have the original.
This is a song called Everything is Holy Now. And that is the refrain. So please sing along when you hear that part coming in, so we can get a nice rumble with the bass and nice shimmering women's sound too. When I was a boy, each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still. But now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small. An even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, it barely wet my fingertips. Now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. Used to be a world half there, heaven second rate, hand me down. But I walk it with a reverence air, 'cause everything is holy now. 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 Read a questioning child's face, say it's not a testament. That'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come. Say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. Made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then, 'cause everything is holy now. 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 Yep, everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Everything is holy now.
Wonderful. Oh my golly, welcome everyone. Let's take a second and acknowledge how holy everything is. By just taking a moment and greeting, just literally, don't have to get up, just stay with your seats, greeting those around us and touching them and saying, I see you and I'm glad you're here. That's holy. That was awesome. That was the best you've ever done. That was wonderful. Now, let's come back and take a deep breath together. Breathe in that sage, that holy sage. That is a holy miracle. That is the embodiment of love in this moment, in this place, in this world. That is the connection with Spirit Divine right now. What's a better miracle than that? What's more amazing than that? How do you feel? Is your heart soaring? Is your mind alive? Is your body tingling? Mine is a little bit. That's holiness. That's beauty. And Terry did so well on that song. Let's hear another round. Thank you. So I have a little laryngitis, but that doesn't mean my voice is not deeply inspired by Spirit, even stronger. So I'm here. So tonight, we usually do Birdie Bow, but tonight I thought we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to smudge to release the old, and we're going to bring in that new. And Leslie did some beautiful smudging with us, and we just walked around here just spreading peace and spreading love, and that has a real effect. All that you do, all that you say permeates this world on a physical level. Psychological, yes. Emotional, sure. Energetic, absolutely. And physical. So we're going to talk about reframing things and why that is so important. Maybe one of the most important things we do. And how we release the stuff that doesn't serve us, that doesn't let us connect with that holiness. And how we renew in that moment. Reframe, release, renew. So what is reframing? Right? Well, I got news for you. It's your superpower. Everybody go like this right now. Say, I'm a mighty reframer. Yes. We're going to be stronger and stronger. And this is going to be kind of maybe an intention for the new year for you, is to learn to reframe with absolute consistency, clarity, certainty. Because when you do, you learn to master the most important thing in our life, and that is your mind. If you can master your mind, if you can learn to work with it and and make it work for you, you can literally do anything. It is infinite in possibilities. And it connects us to that holiness of love. From that power source, you can fly to the moon. I remember one time Brandon and I were at a baseball game, and I was expounding about possibilities of miracles, and he looked at me and he said, "So you mean," and he picked up off the floor a peanut shell, "I could fly to the moon on this peanut shell?" And I said, "Absolutely." And he went, "All right. We'll have to talk about it." Now that sounds fanciful, but the idea is we open up the possibilities when we reframe. When we don't, we stay trapped, small, and limited. And this is about unlimiting, opening up our thinking. So what is reframing? Reframing is, at its essence, the ability to understand what comes at you is open for interpretation. Meaning whatever I experience, whatever the world is going to put my way, is for me to decide what it is. Abraham Lincoln said, people are about as happy as they make up their mind to be. That doesn't mean happiness is some like achievement for the people that go out and enjoy themselves and have the perfect family and all that stuff. Who here has perfection in every area of your life? Who here has challenges and changes and love in kind of wonderful equal proportion? Right? So when we reframe, what we're doing is we're exercising our true superpower. Can I stop waves in the ocean from coming at me? No. Can I learn to surf those waves? Appreciate those waves? Learn from those waves? Feel those waves? Yes. Now I'm living. Now I'm in the moment. Because I'm exercising what I can control, and that is this super wonderful heart and mind and body. So when things come, we learn to deal with them, think about them consciously. Now here's what we're up against. Our subconscious mind takes in about 11 million bits of information every second. That's an astronomically large amount. That means I can't consciously tap it, but if I could know everything. I could count all the hairs in all your heads and be accurate. Ironically, we can't do that. Amazingly, thankfully, we can't do that. It's too much information. Consciously, how much do you think we can take in? 40 bits. For you at home, 40 bits. 40 bits. That's a small slice. So here's the real question. Not what is reality. It's what part of reality are you focused on? What are you framing? What are you seeing consistently? Because that determines your life. That determines your reality. And here's the other thing that's challenging for us. We, as our beautiful ancestors, sat on a log 100,000 years ago. There were two basic people. Two men, two women, two people. Two thems, whatever it is, whoever they were. And one person looked up and said, "What a beautiful sky, full of light and love. Oh, I love being human." And the other one said, "I think there's a tiger in that bush." "What's that? I better get out of here." Unfortunately, back then, which of those two people do you think actually lived? So our brains have evolved to be a little heightened on threats. We have a heightened amygdala response. So that means, here's what happens. We have some 60,000 thoughts a day. Most of them are repetitive, and most of them are negative. We ruminate. How many of you ruminate about a problem and a thing ad nauseum? Right? Well, here's good news. You can unlearn that. You can learn to quiet the amygdala and open your prefrontal cortex and see the miracle of love that's in front of you all the time. I do. I see my wife and son here. I see my friends here. I see my cousin. I see beautiful people. All of you. I see you. You're all beautiful. So I've calmed that part through practice and opened to the more evolved part of my brain. That amygdala is your lizard brain. Not very smart, not very bright. It's why you feel sad when we're there a lot. Fight, flight, freeze. Those are not three good options. They're survival. We want to move to thriving, intelligence, wisdom, love, conduit for love. Now, the amygdala has its place. If I'm going to get hit by a bus or one of you, I'm going to go, ah, and get you out of the way. But that's about it. Not emails, not the grocery store line, not whatever thing you're angry about. Although you take action, we don't have to be polluted with that anger. If we take a deep breath right now, we can let it go. So how do we reframe, right? How are we going to do this? If we know we're up against something big and we know our mind is so important, when these events come, what happens is we get triggered. We get triggered and we get very good at a repetitive reaction to things that triggers some fear in us. And our amygdala hijacks us. It's like, whoa, watch out. You better be careful. That's a threat. And then all of a sudden we're ruminating about it. We're thinking about it. Because the mistake we make is thinking that thing is true. The only truth about it. And here's another reality. Everything can be seen from an almost infinite amount of angles if you open up to look at them. So, there are several ways to reframe. The first and foremost is something that my partner and I, my business partner and I use in our company. It's called Stop, Breathe, Notice, Choose. Stop, breathe, notice, choose. So what you have to understand is these emotional responses come up and they're very gripping. So what I do is as soon as I feel that anywhere in my body, I stop. I notice it, tight, afraid, worried, small. Whatever words come up that actually call it out. By calling it out, I loosen its grip on me a little bit. And then I take a breath, take notice of that, and I choose an action that I consciously want to take. These could be big or small. They can be small in the way that tonight, for example, I came here early, was all prepared, took my little stick up to Erik and said, I want to show this little video later. Looked on it wasn't there. Where's the video? I don't have the video. I called CJ. Her phone was silenced because earlier we were at a funeral. Rather than panic, I looked at Laura Lee. She goes, go home. I said, I'm going home. Driving home, I got home safely. I walked in. CJ Maxx, they were going to be coming later in another car. They were ready. I said, let's all go together. We happily, joyfully drove back together. You tell me, is that a bad thing or a good thing? Is it okay that these things happen? Well, I posit that everything that happens is dynamically given to you for your best and highest good. Everything. Small, large, if you can lean into it, if you can learn from it, you can grow exponentially. Big things. Brain tumors. As many of you know, I had a brain tumor. When it came like a thunderbolt into my life, and it shook me to the core and my family. Was it hard? Absolutely. Could it have been devastating? Possibly. But despite all that it did, it also offered enormous lessons of beauty, compassion, and openness. And it has changed my life irrevocably. That was a framing choice, and I remember the moment I took it. Somebody gave me a form for disability in the hospital and said, you're a speaker, your livelihood is around speaking, you have a paralyzed face, your language is not really good, you can't hear out of the right ear, you could technically apply for disability. And I took that home, and I looked at it, and I walked back in that office, and I said, no, thank you. That's not how I'm going to define myself. And I reframed the whole thing in an instant. It took a spin. And I remember talking to you guys about this. I went, this is going to be a gift. This is going to be the best gift of my life. This is going to open me up in ways that I can't imagine. And I almost dropped to my knees with humility, thinking, thank you, God, for the gift of this tumor teacher. Tumor teacher. Not enemy. I'm not a victim. It was a teacher. It was almost a friend because it ushered me into a new way of being. Take a deep breath again. Think about your life and some of the biggest challenges, and think about where you are now and how you've grown from them and how you're stronger because of them. Everything's holy now. Everything. Not just the beauty, but also the challenge. Isn't that wonderful? So let's talk about a couple of simple tools. Stop, breathe, notice, choose. Remember that. When you feel that, what you're doing is getting away from the grip of it. I like to liken it to your amygdala gets all hopped up, and it's like, no fear. It's like a tantrum. It's like, no fear, I want that. You shouldn't do that. How dare they? Not true, not real. But when we do get our space from it, it doesn't drive us. It like takes the wheel of our brain and starts driving our behavior. We start shouting. We may yell. We get a little angry. We're confused. We don't want to go there. And what we learn to do with that stop, breathe, notice, choose is tap it gently on the shoulder and say, hi. I know you're trying to protect me. I know you're trying to do the best you can, but it's not helpful right now. So why don't you hop over the passenger seat, because I'm sure you're still going to yak at me, but I'll drive. Now, I may still feel the feeling. Stop, breathe, notice, choose doesn't mean I instantly feel better, although sometimes you do. It means I learned that I can control it. And then eventually, it stops talking because it can't influence you. That's a power. Everybody raise your hands again and say, I can do that. All right. Another way, and there are infinite ways to do this as well, but how many of you know Byron Katie's The Work? 4 questions. Here are the 4 questions. You come into a situation, somebody has done something to you, or you feel that you've been wronged, or whatever it is. And the first question you ask is it true? Well, usually we say, of course it's true, because I'm thinking it. I have my reactive perspective, and I'm strong at that, and it's a deep groove, and I'm always going to be that way, and that's wrong. Second question, how do you know that it's true? What's the absolute evidence? Now we are a little like, maybe? Because how many of us, when someone misbehaves or acts poorly toward us or anything, do we make all kind of assumptions about that person's behavior? They did this because of this. They acted this way because I'm this. They're this way. When really, we find out that's not true at all. Maybe someone in their life has just passed away. Maybe they're having a really hard time. Maybe they don't know how to really connect or share their feelings. And that empathy breaks through the judgment. Brené Brown, love her, says that 90% of our assumptions are wrong. 90%. How much of our lives are we making decisions based on fictional information? Incorrect information. 90%. That's stunning, right? So what I learned to do is ask the third question now. What do I gain from believing this is true? So if I believe someone's bad and they're mean, they hate me, how do I gain? Do I gain anything? Nothing. In fact, here's the research. I hurt my immune system right there. I hurt my brain right there. I am precursing myself for dementia by constantly worrying and ruminating over and over again. It's not creative and it's not helpful. I hurt my blood pressure. I hurt my relationships. I get out of sync. I get small. I don't connect to the love. Everybody, deep breath again. Think of that love. Remember, when you reached out and touched each other, that's holy now. And then the magic question, number 4. Who am I without that thought? And that's where my mind goes, boom. So the person that misbehaved, I don't have real evidence that they did it because they hate me. And it doesn't help me to believe that anyway. So what I learned to do is be empathetic and say, I love that person. I hope they're okay. I'll look forward to talking to them next time and checking in. And if they do have a concern, I'm going to open up a dialogue so we can solve it. Most likely, that's not it. Most likely, 90% of the time, they're having an issue. We think it's about us, but it's not. It's about something bigger. So those are some examples of tools that you can use consistently to make your life a reframing opportunity to get to truth. In this age of disinformation, why would we, with our brains, want to be disinformed? Wouldn't we rather know what's really happening? That everything's holy now? So we're going to take a look at a little video, if you guys can start to boot it up. And this is came out of a commercial, I think, in Vietnam. And it illustrates a very clear example of reframing. I want you to watch for it. And I want you to watch and see what the impact is of it. So if we could lower the lights, Erik, that'd be great. Or Justin. There's a little bit of subtitles, so just keep your eyes on it, and then we'll get to watch it a little bit. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
ไอ้เนี่ยฮะถามว่าเอาไปทำอะไร เอาไปให้แม่
เจ๊แป๊บนึงแม่ป่วยเหรอ
อย่าทำอย่างนี้อีกนะ
หมวยเกาเหลาจ๋อนั่งเลยครับนั่งเลย
ป๊า
จัดไปอ้าวสั่งมาเร็วต่ออะไร
That video gets me every time. What's so powerful about the video? Did you notice the reframing moment? When was the reframing moment? Two perspectives, one situation. Little boy comes out of the shop. Woman sees him as thief, liar, bad. That's her perspective. That's not reality. Take a deep breath again. Other gentleman comes out, open-hearted, aware, kind. What's going on here? He learns, he listens, he frames what's really going on. A boy whose mother is sick and can't afford medicine isn't willing to steal for it because he's desperate to not see his mother in pain. He sees that. He pays for the medicine and adds soup. When you think about why reframing, think about not only your life and mine that you can change, but the ripple effect of lives throughout our world that you can affect. That boy who might have gone to jail and been somebody who was not doing positive things in life became a physician. And when he had the opportunity, he paid it forward beautifully. That's karma. That's goodness. That's a reframing in a moment that had a ripple effect endlessly throughout our universe. So this new year, watch your mind. Watch when you are pulled into ruminating, reactive thinking, and reframe it authentically. Is it true? How do I know it's true? What do I get by believing that's true? Who am I without that thought? Stop, breathe, notice, choose consciously. Because you are not your amygdala. You're not even your brain. You're an awareness of everything is holding out in love, a gift from the universe. When you do, you will not only clarify, purify your mind, you will help clarify and purify our world. And that is how we make a world that works for everyone. Take one more second and acknowledge the people around you and say, I see you and I frame you as beautiful. Take a moment and do that real quick. I see you both and I frame you as beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll get that right. Ty. Thank you. Breathe in again. You are mighty. You are spiritual warriors. Justin just informed me that was Thai, not Vietnamese. And I thank him for that. Thank you, Justin. Max got it too. My son's smarter than me. There we go. But think of this as your duty, your responsibility, not only because you're going to live longer and be happier and healthier, fact, but because we're going to make a better world. And we can do it starting right here with this and this right now. Blessings and joy, and we will release the old and renew ourselves in 2022. And let's all say, Happy New Year!
Lights up just a little bit, please. Thank you. All right, now we come time for our offering. If you would please join me in your handbook. Program, thank you. In your program is the love offering. If we could all please say together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And so it is.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me down. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue sky. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
I think I'm up, Justin, right? Okay, good. Thanks, Terry, because I see bright, bright, sunny days ahead for all of y'all. Yeah. So I'm here to do the closing healing prayer. But first, I'm going to say thank you, Drew. Thank you, Terry. Thank you for our AV people. And thank you all for just being here, helping us celebrate the new year. I'm full. I am just full of joy. And you know, I have joy all over my house because joy for me is in any moment of the day, no matter what's going on, any moment. So if you care to close your eyes, just take a deep breath. So as we reframe, if we reframe our thinking to be one of positivity, one of happiness, one of joyfulness, knowing that anything and everything is divinely inspired. I know that in my heart because I am a divine being, as I know it for each and every one of you here this very moment. Knowing that as we go out and release all the things that, and all the old beliefs that have held us hostage, knowing that at any time, all the fears, all the anxieties, all the things that may come about in any given moment can be released. How are we going to look at it? I have an awful cold and I'm coughing like crazy, but my heart is just so full. It's not who I am. I'm love. You are love. I am joy. You are joy. You are beautiful. Okay, I'm beautiful too. Let's just take a deep breath, knowing that as the coming year, there is going to be health, prosperity, abundance, and let us give away pieces that do not serve us. Set them aside, knowing that they will not come back They will not come back if I do not ask for them back. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to be a part of this beautiful way of life. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you as you go about with health and prosperity. I release these words into the beautiful universe, knowing that they will not come back void because they are already in play. Thank you, sweet spirit. And let us say, and so it is.
Hello again. So when Reverend Drew was speaking, I had a real opportunity to reframe something. When we were doing the smudging here, I didn't like the smell. The smell like bothered me. And in Laura's creating what it actually meant, the importance to her ancestors. And in that moment, I was able to reframe and be grateful because this very church is on the land of her ancestors. And for her to open up and bring something so sacred for her back to this place that was so taken from their culture, thank you for the immediate practice of what we teach here. Thank you. And I apologize to you. I'd like you guys to repeat a couple things after me. Say, poem, poem, raccoon, ma. Poem, raccoon, ma. That's the highest expression of I love you in Thai. So take that with you today. All right. Announcements now, right? So tomorrow, you're all welcome to come to our New Year's Day service. It starts at 10:30 a.m. And immediately afterward, oh, don't forget, tonight we have game night. So after this service, we'll go downstairs and we have games and some snacks, and you all are welcome to come down and join us. Come to tomorrow's service at 10:30. We also have our first 2023 potluck, and so please bring your favorite New Year's dish, and I will be making pancakes and waffles to order, both regular and gluten-free. I know, right? Also coming up, there's just a couple of events coming up that I would like to remind you of. On January 14th, Reverend Karen will be leading a class here on abundance. And abundance is not just financial. Abundance encompasses all components of our spirituality. It goes from 8:30 to 1 o'clock 9 a.m. to 1 o'clock on January 14th. Shortly after that evening, we also have a pasta dinner with Reverend Francis starting at 5 o'clock. And the cost of that is $25. There's information on the back table. Also, will the practitioners be in the prayer room today? Okay, great. So Tacoma practitioners, they are considered spiritual coaches, are ready to help you navigate solutions to change and transition with affirmative prayer. They've received up to 4 years of training before becoming licensed, and their primary role is to pray with us, individually or collectively. So you can join them in the prayer room after this service if you would have an issue or something that you would actually like support in an affirmative prayer. And that is it for the announcements. Thank you.
So we're going to do Auld Lang Syne. I know everybody knows all the words. I don't know if we're going to. Oh, they're up there. Okay, good. We'll do the first verse one time and the refrain afterwards twice. Okay, if I can play it.